If you were in Worcester, Massachusetts, you probably know some of what's going to happen today on today's episode of Life's Potluck Buffet. Also, how did I do? I really tried to get a kind of like Worcester. I really tried to do a little bit of a Massachusetts type accent. My Boston accent, you know how bad that is, but I'm working on it. Okay, so if you're in Worcester in England, then you're going to want to listen to just because what the heck. I'm John Paulus. You're listening to Life's Potluck Buffet. Thanks for joining me today. Today's episode of Life's Potluck Buffet is all about emojis and smiley faces and have a nice day and what we can do to have a nice day by asking the cards. Non-ironically, how can we have a nice day? That face emoji you just added to that message, that has a history. You probably know that. What you probably don't know is that in 2019, Emojipedia, the encyclopedia of emojis, had to write, well, basically a retraction, a correction. And that correction was a big one for Emojipedia because it was setting the record straight about the first emoji set. You see, 3 years earlier, MoMA in New York, the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, added to its collection the 1998 or 1999 emoji set of Docomo, the Japanese telecommunications company. And that was, hailed as this is the original set of emoji. See, I was going to say emoji characters, but guess what? That's kind of like Sahara Desert action. You know how Sahara already means desert in Arabic, so you don't need to say Sahara Desert. You can just say Sahara. And the same thing, I mean, emoji is two words, is a compound of two words in Japanese. The first word is which is the Japanese word for a picture, painting or drawing, or the woodblock prints are forms of they're all pictures. So it's not like the E of e-commerce. That's not to an English language speaker and reader, looking at that. I don't know about you, but I always thought that emoji had either to do something with emotion or something to do with as in electronic something. Like maybe it was like I was thinking it was electronic emotions, emoji, emotion. I don't know. But anyway, it has nothing to do with what the word means in Japanese. This picture, drawing, painting, illustration, whatever you want to call it. And moji is character. Now that, so it means picture character. So the idea is that it's a character that, it's an expression that's a picture. And so that makes a lot more sense than electronic emotions. Although I kind of like electronic emotions. And I think what threw me off is the emoticon, or I really wanted to say emoticon, but I get it. Emoticon, like emoting and emotion icon. So icon is good, like moji, and maybe that's kind of vaguely similar. And emoticons are much older than emojis by far, partially because typography has existed for a very long time, and making faces with various punctuation marks and so forth has existed in typography for a very long time. A very long time. So, I mean, there are examples of things that look like emoticons from the 1880s, typographical art, that kind of thing. But the first emoticon that we have that it was digitally sent in terms of, and emoticon are the text-based ones, the ones where you do a colon and a hyphen and a parenthesis, and if parenthesis facing, left if it's, happy, and right if it's sad. You know what they look like. Those things are emoticons, and those emoticons were proposed by Scott E. Fallman, and we actually have the message that he sent that is proof that he was proposing and promoting the idea of using these emoticons for various purposes. But anyway, I won't go into that. Nonetheless, in 1997, SoftBank, a software company, again, a Japanese software company, actually released a set of emoji that predated the Docomo emoji by 1 or 2 years. And so Emojipedia had to write a long piece saying that they now were declaring the SoftBank emoji set of 1997 the earliest emoji set out there. And so these emoji sets were very 8-bit looking. They're kind of cool, actually, in a retro way. When they got converted into the yellow say the faces, like the yellow circular faces that you see today, those aren't what the original emoji set looked like. They, again, today, on today's thumbnail, we have an example of what that original set looked like. The yellow background smiley face or sad face character, or crying, or just about everything laughing characters that you are familiar with were influenced by a advertising tradition in the United States that started in Worcester, Massachusetts. And that is when Harvey Ball, a local ad man in Worcester, Massachusetts, was tasked by the State Mutual Life Assurance Company of Worcester, Massachusetts, to increase employee morale. They had just undergone a merger and wanted something to cheer up employees, and so Harvey Ball created a image of a sunny yellow circle with a smile that's slightly wider on one side and one eye and two eyes, because apparently without that you could turn the button upside down and it would become a frown. And the two eyes, right, because the two eyes tell you how to do it right side up. That could have been dangerous, employee morale. What if turn that smile upside down? And and so he put the two eyes up there so it wouldn't look like a frown if you turned it upside down. And maybe the employees would have preferred that. And then the one of the eyes is actually bigger than the other. Anyway, so that's what Harvey Ball created, and it got made into a pin, and it caught on. The employees actually, and it actually did its job. It improved the morale at the State Mutual. And so all of a sudden, the whole idea of the smiley face caught on. They were getting orders of tens of thousands of smiley faces from all around. And in the U.S., the smiley face became a phenomenon. And in the 70s, a couple of guys from Philadelphia added the motto "Have a nice day" underneath the smiley face, which then became enshrined in single-use plastic bags for, well, I guess eternity. But the smiley face alone was here to stay. And that influenced what the smiley face would look like when a set of emoji were being designed with this US influence. You get the yellow smiley faces that we know all too well. So let's ask the cards. Cards, how do we have a nice day? And see what the cards have to say. So here we go. Yellow lemons, blue dumplings, magenta noodles. Cards, tell us somethings. All right. It's card 15. Now, this is a really good way to have a nice day. Speak where you want to be, and the way will appear. So when it occurs to yourself to say, oh, I want to be something, then practice saying it to yourself and no one else. Operate as if it's true, and then get ready to say to others that actually this is true. Have a nice day.